For the next few lectures, I want to work with a pivot chart. Now, pivot charts do not offer different charts. They are the same charts that are available regularly on Excel. The difference is that you additionally get slicers and timeline, which means you can make an interactive dashboard. We are working on the Superstore dataset in case you want to download it. The file is already available below the video. In case you want to download it from the internet, you can simply type Superstore data, and there are several websites from where you can download the very same dataset. We have about 10,000 records with us, and the data is sales data for an organization. So we're not really concerned with how to create a pivot table because I have a separate course on that. It's a 3-hour course. Let's quickly make a pivot table. And what I want to show you now is how you can use slicers and timeline. So we will keep category in rows. I'll keep subcategory in rows as well. And let's keep sales, and let's also keep our profit value. Now imagine you are presenting this data and you want the user to be able to choose a particular category, or let's say they want to choose a particular shipping mode. Now one option is to put the shipping mode in filter, which means that the user can one by one select any one of these. But a better way for us would be to click on insert slicer. I will insert a slicer for my shipping mode. Okay, I can't seem to find it. One second. Okay, shipping mode. So we get a control like this. Let's make a chart, just a normal chart. Now remember, even though the chart is exactly what you would have done otherwise without a pivot, there are some changes that you have to be aware of. For example, when you make a chart on pivot, you automatically get these plus and minus sign that allow you to collapse the entire field or to expand the entire field. Remember, these controls will not appear on a normal chart, something you do without a pivot table. So again, minus will collapse and plus will expand the data. They're very simple to work with. As you can see, when I click on my slicer now, whichever shipping mode I'm selecting, the data is getting filtered to only show me that specific shipping mode. Wonderful, right? So we made an interactive dashboard. I can also go back to the pivot and on pivot table analyze, select insert timeline and select the order date. Now this will create a timeline at the bottom of my dashboard. And now you notice the user can choose quarters and they can choose any specific period for which they want to see the data. And obviously my chart is connected both to the timeline and to the slicer. I will not be covering this in a lot of detail because this has been explained very well in my pivot table course. So in case you're interested in pivot charts, probably you can have a look at that course. But broadly, there are only two things you can do here. One is to create a slicer, the other is to create a timeline. Usually what I like to do is to select everything, put it below the table. The reason I do this is that now I can select the entire sheet, color it, let's say yellow. We can select column Q and then hide all the other columns. Similarly, I will select row number 57, select all the rows and then hide it. And this allows me to present a very clean dashboard that looks like this. In fact, if you want to hide the other elements on the view tab, you can even hide grid lines and headings and formula bar. And now your dashboard will appear like this.